Hey, we started a podcast. Yeah, Philly G, because they know who I be.
The King of Kings.
I'm back.
What it do, people?
Hey, what's up? It's John Kizzy. You know who is he, aka Philly G, because you know who I be. And I'm here with King Tigger,
What's up?
DJ Laton,
I'm back.
Ray,
What it do, people?
and hey, we started a podcast. And we here with a deep dive of this is our first repeat, artist. This is the first time we're doing an artist that we've already done before.
Yes.
And quick, because it was only a few months ago that we
haven't done this artist before.
Yeah, we did.
actually, you know what? Technically,
Yes, we did.
he's kind of right. No, he's kind of
We
right.
haven't done this artist
Because you
before.
can't find this album under Tupac. It's under Makaveli.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
under,
going.
so it's a different person.
yeah,
man.
I guess there you go.
He's a different.
Yeah, because I was looking
He's
for it
a
under
rebirth,
Pac
man.
and I couldn't find it. But anyways, this is a deep dive of Tupac's album,
I'll say it. Well, it's not Tupac. It's Makaveli's.
Makaveli.
Makaveli.
What's the name of the album again?
Makaveli.
The 7 Day.
Yeah, the 7-Day Theory.
Yeah, Makaveli Don's The 7 Day Theory.
It's more than 7 songs.
Yeah, that's true. That's fine. That would have been poetic if he did make it 7 songs. It would have been short. It's 12 songs. That's still kind of a short album for back then.
So longer than most albums now.
Listen, it's real short when you think he just came off a double album.
Yeah.
True that. But
it's
you
still
know-
longer than the albums that are out now. Though.
But it fulfilled that contractual obligation to Death Row at that time, right? He was on a 3-album deal.
The thing is that what I think separates this album from the All Eyes on Me is that All Eyes on Me, you know the history of that. A lot of those beats were already supposed to be for the Dog Pound, whatever. And he came in and he took them over. And it got a certain feel to it. This feels totally different. This kind of feels like it was from the ground up more than the other album. But let's get right into it. The first song, Bomb First, my second reply. It's kind of funny when you get a reply when the opposition ain't even said nothing. you put out hit him up, you kill him. He don't say shit but some stupid what's that line on Brooklyn's Finest. If they had kids, she probably had 2 Pacs. That was weak. But it was enough for Pac to be like, okay, well, here's another one. And he got his Outlaws on there. This is I was a really big fan of the Outlaws because I really like them. Even though I don't like in a lot of like media and stuff, I seen one where they called the Outlaws Tupac's background singers.
That's disrespectful.
I was like, nah, man.
That's real disrespectful. I mean, I haven't been a fan of like Outlaws moving past Tupac, but like Makaveli is an album where the Outlaws did get a lot of shine on there.
Right.
Like they had cold
Yeah.
verses.
Oh yes, they did. You know what's is I think is so crazy about the East Coast West Coast thing is that the biggest opposition or the biggest part of the West Coast that was seen it going at the East Coast was Tupac and the Outlaws. Pac from Baltimore.
Yep.
The Outlaws of Jersey.
That's why it's never East versus West. Bro.
That's why. Yes, I know. Pac, even on this, he opens up. It's not about East versus West.
No.
And he says it's riders punks.
Yeah. The person who made it East versus West though, that was Suge.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
Suge at the Source Awards.
Yeah.
right?
But hey, did you hear that though? He wasn't talking about Diddy. He was talking about Jermaine Dupri.
I mean, that could line up. He did smack Jermaine Dupri, but he
Yeah.
was trying to get at Diddy in the same.
It's because he
gas.
said that because he said later on that
Actually.
because him and Diddy talked and he's like he's talking about Jermaine Dupri, And like you
Well,
said, that does line up because he
Should
did.
say something with Jermaine Dupri on that.
Yeah, dancing in the videos, all in the songs, and Jermaine Dupri was doing that as well.
Yeah.
Wow, it does line up.
You know what I mean?
But Jermaine Dupri. Really
But the thing is that
He was talking to Diddy, bro.
Yeah, he had to be because there was no clarification
yeah.
after that, because you got to remember that at that Source Awards, Diddy took the stage and addressed it. I'm the producer that those remarks were made about, that kind of thing, and he was talking all peace and love at that point. Right?
yeah, but that's how he took it. But you got to remember there was no social media.
Yeah.
If that happened right now, you probably see a tweet where Suge say, "No, I was talking about that Jermaine Dupri," you know, blah blah blah, and then that beef would have. Fuck, social media could have ended the East Coast West Coast thing.
So what you're trying to say, the real beef was between the West and the South.
Yeah.
See,
That's crazy.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that theory, just for the simple fact is like the stuff that was going on in the background behind that, because that same event where I was talking about where Suge slapped Jermaine Dupri and tried to get at Diddy, his bodyguard stopped that. Suge's bodyguard stepped in. They had choice words, calm things down, and then the club got shut down. And upon the club being shut down, Suge Knight's bodyguard, which was one of his best friends, was killed. Which
Shit.
ended up coming out later on that it was Puffy's bodyguard who killed him.
Now that was started. So even if it wasn't initially about,
So like,
yeah. So even if it wasn't
history,
initially
right?
about him, even if he did mean that what he said about Jermaine Dupri, that shit would have flipped it right there.
Suge did.
Shit.
Suge killed his own bodyguard because he stopped him.
He got in his way. Shit. Anyways, bomb
Leave
first.
Suge alone, he might give us a call.
Call, nigga.
Oh yeah, get him on the show.
Get him on the show.
Tell you one thing, I ain't scared no man in this world. So, yeah, I already know.
As you shouldn't be. As you shouldn't be.
No.
You get on the Bluetooth. It's crazy.
So bomb first. My second reply. What do y'all guys think about this track? I think it's a perfect opening to it.
Oh, most
an album.
definitely. Most definitely.
First time I'm hearing it.
And
And what did you think? What's the first impression?
He was hearing it.
I was like, wow. I didn't even, I don't know why I never like even heard this. I shouldn't say I never heard this side of Pac, but I never took the alter ego as, oh, this is like a freaking serious thing. I think I don't know if it was Ryan or somebody talked about it before. I never took it as a serious thing, and I was like, okay, this is like a real like,
It's the rebirth.
this is like a, you know, it's like
The
the,
rebirth.
it's like
The
the
rebirth
shooter
of Pac,
Pac,
right?
but he shows it sometimes. But this is like the
And the thing is that I think he might be the most famous rapper that has done an alter ego like that. But other rappers have, and they explain it like there might be some rhymes and stuff that they want to talk about that doesn't fit who they are right now. So then they make up an alternate person
yeah.
to put it out under that. Like RZA. He didn't, his first three albums weren't as RZA. It was Bobby Digital. And what he said is that like when he was young and stuff, he formed Wu and all that stuff, and he was putting out all this conscious stuff, right? And stuff, but he wanted to rap about, the party and bullshit type of stuff that young people rap about. He wanted to get that out of the system. So he said that's Bobby Digital. He's a guy talking about bitches and and all that stuff like that. And that music didn't sound like stuff that RZA would put out. It was that. And this could be like Pac. Pac was like, because if you look in contrast to All Eyes on Me, this is like two sides to the same coin. It's totally different. So this is the stuff he wanted to put out as Makaveli, because that's who he was on this album.
Yeah. Well, and I know there was lots of speculation about him leaving Death Row after this point, and then he was going to start his own Makaveli Records and taking the Outlaws with him.
Yeah.
Like there was all kinds of speculation on that aspect, and when you look in like even the intelligence behind of who he named his album after, and the I guess coincidence that he died in a certain way and all that kind of stuff was because the book The Prince, which is written by Nicole Machiavelli, is surrounding a prince who ends up faking his death to overthrow the kingdom. Like I need to think that he's weak, and he comes back and overthrows the kingdom, right? And takes back his rightful place. So when you look at like what was going on in Pac's mind and his career at the time, like he just got out of jail from really detrimental things. If somebody was to say that about you, it's going to impact your career, your life, people who hang around you, all those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
And he came out with a double album, kind of bringing his empire back, right?
And it also would change his own mind frame. Like for someone that did uplifting songs like Brenda's Got a Baby, and then have someone accused like this is because he always claimed he's innocent. So I'm just going to speak from his mind frame. To have someone accuse you of something you didn't do, something like crazy that you're totally against, that weighs on you, man. So that would definitely change you, right? So then you're coming with a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of fits the whole Makaveli theme, right? But
Bro, how you feel about all these fucking doppelgangers out there?
doppelgangers looking like Pac.
Oh my
I think that those are like AI things, but they wouldn't make him look like it's like an old version of him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was like, what?
It's freaking crazy. Bro.
That's the thing with AI now, man. It's crazy because they can not only can they do that, they can make you sound exactly like them.
AI crazy now.
They're saying that the one that played him in that
Yeah, I saw that.
series. Now, first they try to say it was him. I'm like, he's too fucking young, right? Now they're trying to say it's either a son that he didn't know about or knew about or a nephew.
Well, there was an interview actually with that same actor talking about his father used to produce his father actually helped produce Toss It Up.
There you go.
And it just goes to it because it's like one of those meme things, right? And it just goes to another guy, go, wait, we need to check, make sure Pac wasn't in the room with your mother alone.
Exactly, right? Exactly. You know what I mean? He looks a lot like him. It's the nose, right? It's the nose and the eyes. It's like, bro.
Now, where you were saying that the Outlaws are highlighted a lot on this album, the one thing I miss is that I think that like a lot of people don't know the difference between Outlaws and Outlaw Immortals. Like Outlaw Immortals was when Thug Life and Outlaws were all one big group. I like that song When We Ride. That was my jam, and I thought that was like crazy. But Thug Life portion of the Outlaws Immortals isn't present on this album, which I was a little disappointed with because I thought they meshed so well. That's I wonder why. Who could we ask now, right?
Yeah.
Because even Big Psychus did. He passed. I hate saying did. He passed away. But man, Mo Preem, I guess, is probably one of the only people still going that talks. But the Outlaws were like hungry on this, and you already said that you didn't follow them as much when Pac was gone. They did seem less hungry after Pac was gone. They didn't have that same like spark in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I always think it's like what we always call the Method Man syndrome. How when Method Man does songs by himself, they're dope. Yeah. But when he does it with somebody else, it's like he's like, okay, I got to outdo this guy.
Yeah.
It seemed like the Outlaws would all do that to Pac. When they were on the song with Pac, they were like competing with Pac.
Oh, yeah.
And they always came like, I won't lie, there's songs where Idi Amin was my favorite over Pac on tracks. And sometimes Castro just killed it. I'm like, man, these guys is crazy. Yeah. And then later when they put out their albums, I'm like expecting that, and it's just that spark is missing.
Yeah.
So it's almost
push. That push that he gave in the studio, right?
Exactly. Sometimes, like when people say, yo, the group's not good without this guy, it doesn't always mean that guy's verses and stuff is what's keeping the group together. It could be that guy's energy that's making everybody else just go crazy. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that's where the Outlaws got hurt.
And also you got to look at what happened to Death Row.
Yeah.
After Tupac, it imploded. You know, Suge Knight got 8 years for a kick in the head, a parole violation. Like what? Like 6 months after Tupac passed, he was in jail. Yeah. Like for those 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, it's like war, right? If you don't have a solid leader, you know, behind you, telling you what to do, you're just running around with your gun shooting at anything that you can shoot at, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't got that direction that you need, and that's probably what was lacking for them to continue on with their journey of the industry. So, you know, and like you said, Suge Knight, he's in jail. Snoop's out the door. Dre's out the door. Know what I mean? The Dog Pound ain't really trying to fuck with no one. They're imploding within their own group,
like they were breaking up.
You know, so you don't got that leadership there. So therefore, you know, you don't know Who do I fall on? Yeah. There's this East Coast, West Coast beef going on. The only other top producer that I can go to, we were talking shit about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or two. Well, as you just said, now both of them, Jermaine Dupri and Puffy, we're talking shit about both of them.
Yeah.
So,
and Dre,
yeah. So the only other person I can go to will be what, Master P at the time, or over to Birdman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, it's like it's
like who do I go to?
It's definitely like
right?
what they would say, like pulling the rug from under them.
Yeah.
It's like because everything went like you just lost Pac. The label you aligned with is falling apart.
Yeah.
It's like so you don't even have no normalcy. At least if after losing Pac, if you still had the Death Row, would bounce back and run business as usual, you'd have some normalcy and you'd be able to keep on and whatever. But it's like almost like they had to start over.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, right? So, like I said, who do they go to? You got really two people that you could went to, P or fucking Birdie, right?
Yeah, and
I mean, don't get me wrong. There was others, but who were going to fall within that category of pushing their music.
Because then you're basically by pushing your music, you're also aligning yourself against Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, this was before P made it real big, right?
Yeah.
Because, with P's love for Pac, like I don't know him personally, but just with his perceived love for Pac, he probably would have took in the Outlaws and helped them.
Well, he took in Snoop.
True. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
But
he was a little bit better. Snoop is a different monster, and he was a little bit better in the circumstances than like when Pac passed, right?
Yeah.
A couple years after.
I think the love for Pac was there, the same with Snoop for P, right? So,
yeah.
Just I don't know.
Yeah. So it
couldn't even go like to the because there was like speculation about the Outlaws and Dog Pound like warring with each other, beefing with each other.
I guarantee they were.
Yeah.
Guarantee they were. Right.
Well, you got to think if they were talking about East Coast, West Coast stuff, and they are from the East Coast, and Dog Pound then did New York, knocking down the buildings and stuff. There might have been a little bit of tension because they didn't grow up far from those buildings.
Yeah, exactly, right.
You know what I mean? But
it's so funny. Yeah, East Coast rappers saying "fuck the East."
No, remember they never said "fuck the East."
No, but that was speculation of
true
right?
that.
Well, that was something that I never really got that people thought about those guys because they would often shout out where they were from.
Yes,
listen to that.
They mentioned Jersey in almost every song they're in.
That's the thing. No one listens to that though, right? They're just focusing on the aspect of Death Row, Bad Boy, East, West. That's all they focus on. Like, I've heard it. They show, like you said, they show no Jersey and everything else. I heard it. I'm like, oh, that's why I even went on the deep. I was like, Pocky ain't even from West Coast. They from Baltimore.
But he represents the Bay.
Yeah.
Now, see, the more you got me thinking about it, I'm not think. Did the Outlaws ever rep the West, or were they always screaming Jersey?
I think they always rep Jersey, but
they rep West like that.
Yeah, just with their hands, right?
Yeah,
so,
I mean.
Cool. Now we're saying all this just because they're focused a lot. They're featured predominantly on the album, and we're just sad to see that they didn't go where we think they could have went.
DJ Latar falling asleep over
I'm glad I'm here for this history lesson on behind the scenes for the album.
Yeah.
I thought y'all would do this for me. Y'all would bring in the full picture. I listened to the songs and I say, bet you these guys know why these songs.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's a story behind this one. Definitely.
Yeah. So Bomb First was definitely.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, because the Jay-Z thing I don't even know about either.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, Frank, like Pac hated Jay-Z for something. Anyway, go ahead.
I guess that would have been the other one that he could have went to. Damon Dash too. They could have went to Damon Dash.
Let me to put it in perspective for you. Pac his mentality was on that on comparable to 50. Jay-Z was guilty because he's standing next to Biggie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And would do some perceived subliminals, I guess you could say.
I think it was a little bit different than that.
Same with Nas.
Because Tupac said it.
What?
He said, told y'all when I came out it was just about Biggie, but everybody had to open their mouth with that motherfucking opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said perceived subliminals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know that I ever heard Jay-Z straight up say fuck Tupac, but he would have said some things that could be perceived as disrespect.
Stand next to Biggie. That's all it takes.
Well, in the song where Biggie did that whack ass diss towards Pac. It was Jay-Z's song.
Oh, there you go. That's enough right there.
Brooklyn's finest. You know what I mean?
He gave him more than what 50 would give him.
yeah. And Mob,
you guys share the same street. Oh, you my enemy? No.
and Mob Deep did this. They dissed Pac. Yeah. Mob Deep drop a jewel on him. Mob Deep dissed Tupac, and Nas. I don't know. I think he dissed Pac.
There was a lot of speculation about the disses, about Nas dissing Tupac. I don't think there was actually a diss. I think it was more of like he thought. You're right. Nas was trying to jack his style later on. In life.
Actually, you're right, because I heard them. They met. It was Young Noble, member of the Outlaws. They said something, and Nas said something, and they cleared it up. How they actually met at Bryant Park in New York, which is funny. My hotel was like almost across the street from that when I was in New York. But
like to drop the vacation drops in there.
Yeah.
Mexico.
It's a nice area. It's a nice area. But he said that they all met there and they talked it out, and the disses that Pac had, he was going to take them off the album and stuff, because it was just a misunderstanding between Nas and Pac. They actually did have respect for each other. Yeah. And something could have been, but he passed, so.
Yeah, I think that happened the night that Tupac was pushing the Death Row East, because their crews met up with each other during that, right?
Yeah. And pretty sure Pac was told, you want to squash it with this guy, right? So, like, Nas is about that life, right? Yeah. And if he don't do it, he knows someone that will do it. So,
Well, Nas has a song where he details the whole thing, man. It's actually a pretty intelligent song that kind of Nas is able to break down the whole industry beef and how these guys met up with each other and both crews were ready to go, but they kind of squashed it and were looking at doing music together, kind of thing.
And if Nas wasn't about that as much, I heard that they used to say his brother Jungle was name's Jungle.
Why Nas was not scared of Suge Knight.
Yeah. But I digress. Back to the songs. What did you guys think of Bomb First, my second reply?
You still talking about the first one?
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, that's dope. It's dope.
It's dope,
bro. Go to the next one. We're 22 minutes in.
We were just giving a history that we ain't going to have to give for every song now, because we gave enough back.
I guarantee we will, but I'll try to keep it down.
Yeah. Oh no, you ain't. Okay. Free Flow. Song number 2, track number 2, Hail Mary.
That's my shit.
Everyone knows this song.
Oh yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the video?
Yeah. That video was. Now when I watch it now, it's funny, but back then it was like crazy. It was nice.
I remember introducing it to white people in class. For African Canadian Studies.
Really?
Believe me, when our teacher, actually was our teacher, when he heard that song, he just looked at me. I'm like, you want an inspirational song? This is an inspirational song, right? Well, sorry, it wasn't supposed to be an inspirational song. Inspiration, a person that had influence or inspiration on you. Yeah. And this song was inspirational to me at the time. And I brought that song in. And when Pac came on and hit, that first fucking verse, boy. I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
Yeah.
Revenge is like the sweetest joy. Yeah,
Revenge is like the sweetest joy. And that's to get
pussy. That is like.
As soon as that pussy word came on, he just looked at me. Like,
I'd say top 5. That's one of the top 5 opening verses. It's not number 1 for me, because I know a lot of hip hop that is crazy.
Yeah.
But opening bars. Like, that's right up there with, like, Inspector Deck's verse on Triumph. Right up there with, like, Biggie. It was all a dream. You know what I mean? Fuck Pac. But you know what? Pac has a lot of those.
Oh, yeah.
Pac has a lot of, like...
At least like 20 that you can count as, like, top verses. That
for sure, right?
And the thing is that it's crazy. It's like... I call them cheater lines. When you open with something like that, if you're lazy, your next 4 bars could be like, meh. Because people are still fucking whoa after that.
The first part,
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's like, it's crazy. It's a good song.
Yeah.
And featuring Outlaws.
Yeah.
I got an
Just think where your
ABV.
mind is
with the
with saying
family.
them first four bars. I'm not a killer,
But don't push me.
me.
Yeah.
Basically, because revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. And people have
Gotta leave that man alone.
Yeah. and I've heard people put their own spin on that line. Chris Calico has something in it. Something about because he's a choir boy, don't put or something like that. He has his own twist on it. Yeah. I ain't gonna quote it because I'll probably get it wrong, so I don't want to misquote him. But it's definitely iconic is the word I was looking for. It's an iconic opening and iconic lyrics.
Yeah, even the
Pac,
chorus.
I feel like Pac mentioned it a lot that he's gonna beat them with words instead of actually beating them with.
And he could.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right?
I feel like he mentions a lot, and I noticed that too. I listened to this album. It's like if you really listen to it, like he's not really talking like shooting and killing people. He's talking about he's gonna dismantle you with his words. Yeah, right. It's I don't know. People miss that though.
He's trying to show you how words can be just as powerful as a knife, a gun, or a bat. Or anything, right. So,
yeah, man, he's about that hip hop, man.
Yeah, I think it gets clouded when the sound effects in the back and not on this particular song, but other like some songs you like it's like you hear gunshots and it's like it gets I don't know it gets kind of misconstrued.
I know exactly what you mean because there was some songs where I'm like there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah,
it's like where you're trying to listen to lyrics, but
50 was known for that goddamn click of the fucking gun.
Yeah. No, I mean that like at the end, like some stuff, the sound effects will play over a voice, and sometimes you'll have singing come in too, where you're still trying to hear the lyrics, so you'll miss some stuff. Like there are a couple tracks where it's layered weirdly. I think that just back in the 90s we had a better attention span because it didn't seem muffled until I listened to it over the weekend. I was like, man, I didn't remember so much going on right now. I was able to just follow stuff back then. Now it's more. Yeah. Now song number 3, Toss It Up. It's a jam, but it's hilarious. I think it's so funny that Cuz has 2 verses talking about these girls and then just switches to dissing Drake.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Just out of nowhere.
That tripped me out too. For me, I was like, you know, I don't really listen to this album at all. I never like. I was like, okay, finally Pac going to talk with the ladies now.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
just go read the Dre. It was all about
It is funny. It happens like mid verse. It's like you check your sexuality. Your foodie is as Alizé. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you were harmless shorty though.
No, the song's called "Toss It Up."
Yeah,
I thought I was tripping out.
No,
I thought I was tripping. But now I'm glad you say that.
First half for the ladies.
I thought because I was like, okay, fine. Now Tupac is. You know, I know he like put his little lady song in there. Okay, this is it. I said no.
Yeah,
she's not talking with freaking Dre. He's talking with Dre.
You only play the first half for the women.
you know what's right? Maybe that's where Kendrick got some inspiration to make a diss song a bop. Because all of a sudden you're jamming, and all of a sudden you're just talking dissing Dre.
He's a humongous student of Tupac.
Bro, honestly, I was going to save it till the end of this here. I was going to say G and X references this album quite a bit.
Oh, it does.
Oh, yeah?
Right? Yeah, just with the style of plays. Like, you're still fuck, I don't want to talk about that yellow face motherfucker, but he got a whole album still dissing Drake. He got a whole.
You gotta talk with him every time you talk with something.
He got an album still dissing guys that he's in beef with, right?
Yeah.
Whether it was Biggie, whether it was Dre, because he felt not disrespected. He felt slighted by Dre. Yeah, because Dre left him when he needed him the most.
That's how it sounded. This album, so, like that song, like he's really hurt by Dre. Like,
right. So
you
know, it's like listening to stuff like this back in the day. It makes me think that, man, like I said earlier, social media could have stopped a lot of beef because it feels like these guys don't get to like because a lot of stuff happens from miscommunication.
Yeah.
And nowadays, if you miscommunicate something, I can reach you in 2 seconds and stuff like that, right? No matter where you are. If you're busy in the studio, whatever, you bring whatever. Yeah. Back then, they didn't even have text messaging back then.
Back in the days, like when Dre left, and Pac's probably trying to reach him or try to get him before he can get out the door, Suge probably stopped and said, no. He said this about it, said that about it, said this about Death Row, said this about you, said this about me.
Yeah.
Right? So now that's just...
I know, and that's in your head. And you can't be like, yo, Dre, did you say this?
Yeah.
Well, there's also the fact is that there's interviews with Tupac talking about Dre getting credit for producing songs that the Dog Pound produced.
Yeah.
It
You know what I
does.
mean? So he already had a gripes against Dre, and he was talking about the same thing that everybody been talking about Dre, about how long it takes him to make an album.
Yeah.
And he was like, but 2 years on 2 songs? Like, what are we doing here? And he was talking about how, like, those guys were not getting the credit.
Yeah.
But Dre was getting the credit for producing songs that he didn't
Daz
actually
even
produce.
said that too, right? So he said, oh, many times y'all thought it was Dr. Dre, but it was really me.
Yeah.
Right? So
You know, it's
if I'm a brand new artist coming to your label that's supposed to be like the savior of the label, or now I'm taking the front runner on your label, and you're one of the owners of the label, the main producer, and you just leave.
yeah.
You just leave. You don't take any money with you. You don't take any artists with you. You just leave. I'm gonna look like, well, something messed up going here. Maybe he don't like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe there's something going on here that I don't know about. Shook, what's going on?
and the thing
Then
is,
what Suge gonna say?
yeah.
He said
Yeah.
this about me.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said this about Death Row.
Yeah.
He tried to take all this money from us, but I wouldn't let him because you know who I am, Pac. You know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm riding
I
with
know.
you, Shook.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
And you know, like if you look at the timeline and stuff, it's not like Dre and Pac had a type of relationship where they'd probably even reach out to each other because Suge is the one that saved them. So you're already inclined to take Suge's side.
Yep.
And then when Suge is saying that Pac, did this, why wouldn't you believe him
Yeah.
over?
Also, Suge and Tupac had a prior relationship where Suge paid him like, I think it was like $30,000 to do a certain verse on one of the soundtracks,
South Park, yeah.
right? So he didn't have that prior relationship with Dre.
Dre,
He had
yeah.
it with Suge, and Suge's the one that came and bailed. Most, so I got to ride with the person who's helping me out and trying to get me out of jail.
Yeah.
So that's why on Toss Him Up, he tossed them up.
Toss the verse out. Split it up in half. Let's go.
Yeah.
So next was To Live and Die in L.A.
To live and die. in
This is just a riding song,
is
right?
the place to
That's the
be.
vibe.
That was my shit.
Yeah.
That was my
Still to this day, I don't. Yeah, you put that on and you go and see
Yeah.
everybody bop to that.
Yeah.
I personally don't. This wasn't one of my jams on the album.
I like it because it's freaking Tupac showing his storytelling.
Yeah.
His storytelling, like one of his strengths.
This
like,
goes back to like Brenda Has a Baby type of thing.
Yeah,
Right?
like,
He's telling the story.
Yeah,
I loved his
freaking-
verses. I loved his verses. Just the chorus just never grabbed me.
I like the chorus.
I like the song.
That's a
man.
summertime song.
Yeah.
Like it's a song that I wouldn't turn off, and it is like a riding song. It's like something that you'd play at the barbecue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what
It's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll play it all year round, but it's a
I like
summertime
that.
song. Listen, I'm tired of sitting here trying to convince you on these songs. Fuck this shit. I like it.
Yeah, it's all good.
He's giving the city a lot of love in that song.
Yeah.
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 And of all different
Yeah.
cultures, all different
It's
races
new
that
home,
make
right?
up that city.
Yeah.
And that's what probably makes it mean even more when he's not even native there.
Yeah.
It's his new home, and he's showing them love and respect, and that's what you should do.
I mean,
It's-
Biggie too did too, though. Going back to Cali.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah. Is that the song where he talks about the radio station at the end? I don't know.
I don't know either.
You guys got me going through the verse now.
Yeah, same
At the
here.
end, he just shouts out radio stations who plays records. I don't know if that's the song. It's
I
one of
think
those.
it is while the course is going to live and die
Yeah,
in
he
LA
talks
kind of
about
thing.
he names specific ones.
Yeah.
and-
I think so.
yeah. It's like you got to like he did his homework on that song. I feel like you could see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the next
Tell
song,
him,
Blasphemy. That's one that I really liked and I played a
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
Oh, after
That's-
What? You didn't like that?
bro, you know I like that spooky shit, bro. That's not too spooky, bro. I forget last time I listened to that. I think I
He
drank
said,
some gin
remember
and
what my
tonic.
pop, remember what my pops told me. Blasphemy.
I was like, bro, I think I skipped past our intro, bro. I couldn't
It's a religious song.
I get it, the song,
Shoot.
but the first part is just like
You know we scary.
the spooky, bro. You know,
He turned on all the lights in this place. Turned on every light.
You ever found this teddy bear to cuddle up against? You too scared.
Well, we know his opinion. What y'all think? That was
I
my
love
jam.
That song,
Oh, yeah, same here. I love it.
There
was
was
a-
a bad thing to say about none of these tracks. So,
Like the thing is, I love the album so much that there was a time when this was my favorite song, and then another was my favorite song, and I just kill him, and then another was my favorite song. Like, especially the next one, I used to kill this because, like, I've said many times how I like the Outlaws. I always liked how, and this is one of the songs where I felt like, again, they felt that energy, and they're like, and Pac had 2 verses on this, and then they had one. They shared one. So they were all like, okay, fuck it. He's hogging the shit. We're going to go crazy.
Wasn't it like that with
and they did.
songs, so?
Yeah, and it's Life as an Outlaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Track number 6. I loved it. Wow. Yeah. It was.
Bro, you gotta remember how Pac was, right? Pac, he's a workaholic. So he's supposed to get one verse, and then you guys supposed to share the other 2 verses. If you ain't ready when he's ready to record, fuck it, you lost your spot. I got something for that. Yeah. Pac was a workaholic, bro. Like they said, he still got shit in the vault that ain't released. Yeah, exactly.
So, like when he went to Death Row, his work ethic was record one studio, pop to the next studio, record there, pop to the next one, record there, then go back. You know what I mean? Back.
And if by the time he got back there, if you don't got a verse, his verse is going on there, and then he started to cycle all the way around again. Yeah,
like bro, the thing I liked about the arrangement of this song is like the first 2 verses is Pac, and then on the second one it's like Pac turns to them and talks to Napoleon, and you know, you down the dive for me, you know, and then Napoleon's and then he just comes in and just spits. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy track. Yeah. Outlaws shine on everywhere on this album. It had you hype that. Because it came out, like, Pac was already passed after this happened. This album came out. Yeah. So it had you hype, like, okay, he's gone, but it's in good hands. These guys got this. So that's why.
I wonder if that album was done.
It was.
It was done, but it wasn't released.
It wasn't released, right?
Yeah. Like I say many times, I always fact check after the episode, and I check the dates of when Life After Death was recorded and when it came out, and this and when it came out. And yeah, that's why, remember we had
one album debate?
Yeah. The debate, that's a good word for it. If these albums anyways, if these albums should count, and they definitely would, because they were completely done while the person was alive, and they were off to the press. They were just getting ready to get released, right? There were no changes that could be made.
Right.
But they changed the back cover.
Well, that's different. You can change the cover.
That's all graphics, right?
Yeah. That's something that could be changed. Yeah. But the album was too late to change. Like, I think Biggie died like a week before the album came out. Just a week.
Jesus.
Like, that was
his press tour.
Yeah, like that was already probably in the stores ready to get released.
It wasn't. It was supposed to come out a month after. But Puffy being Puffy, seen a chance. Hey, you just died. I can make more money off of this because you just fucking died. Let's get it out as soon as possible.
Well, it still had to have been pressed up because you can't.
No, still had to be pressed up.
So he was in his press run. It might not have been out yet, but he was in his press run, promoting the album, going to places. That's what led him to LA, right?
Yeah. So
that means like I know this because I used to do reviews and I'd get albums early. So I know that an album could be out and done and in the stores, but they just ain't allowed to release it until the date that the label wants to be out. So they had these albums was done. So
Puffy pushed the time out the fucking dirty bastard.
But Life is Outlaw, I liked it. I know you didn't like Blasphemy. What did you think of this one though?
I like it. I don't think I really pulled a lot from it. I didn't really like. I can't remember like what the grasp of it was. Like I can't remember. Like
I think it was just Life of Outlaw.
I think the first lyrics is why explain the game to niggas ain't listening.
I guess I was listening. I was listening. I wasn't listening.
Guys, you know what's funny? If you can't say he get the fuck out the kitchen, I took that and sampled it for one of our songs. We had a song called Hell's Kitchen, and then I did a Hell's Kitchen remix, and we put that in there.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember a big pull out of this song. It wasn't one of my like memorable moments.
Cool. All right, so the next one. What about the next one? And that's Just Like Daddy.
I was confused about this one.
It wasn't one of my favorites. It's one of the songs I listened to probably the least. Even though the Outlaws shine again on this album, I just
What do we do with Makaveli and Outlaws?
during every second song goes. Oh shit! Now that you mention it, I think this is the last song they're in. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the chorus.
I think this is one of the ones I got listened to again. I ain't heard it.
Just like Daddy.
I like the whole album, so I can't.
I know I like the whole album, but just because there's a lot of music that I listen to, and a lot of
I was
shit that
confused
listen
about
to,
this
right?
song because I thought it was something like he's trying to relate to his father, but then
He's talking to a girl.
yeah, he's talking about like I'm like
He's like put me on that same pedestal.
yeah,
thing,
that's
right?
what he's saying, and I was like okay, and I caught on to it. I was like because I don't know why I went to his father on that one.
Yeah. All right.
He's talking about all them double games out there.
So the next track, which I know you said it was your favorite, and it was one of my favorites because I was a big fan of Badass, and I like his. Although his flow seems more unorthodox now as I'm older listening to it, it's like his rhyme scheme is different than I remember, but I still like it, especially what's the song? The line "You ain't got to be in jail to be serving time." Or to be doing time, I think.
In jail to be serving time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was on. Time goes by, puffing on lie, hoping that it gets me high. Got a nigga going crazy.
Crazy. Oh yeah, that's my shit.
Crazy. Yeah. That was my jam too. What did you feel about that?
A lot of weed to that song.
I wasn't.
And cigarettes.
I wasn't a
I
fan.
don't think I can hear it without like.
You wasn't a fan?
I wasn't a fan of this song.
Oh, the song? Oh,
No.
You wasn't a fan?
I wasn't a fan of this song.
too slow?
I don't know. This wasn't like. It wasn't give me the feel like the other songs to give me that
It wasn't spooky though.
It was like Pac was like but this one wasn't like I didn't feel it on this one.
More laid back. Laid back Pac type guy.
It wasn't.
Pac's voice was too deep on it.
One thing that I always said this, and I listening to it over and over again, I notice even more. Tupac doubles his vocals like almost for his whole verse. Like, where most people put doubles just to emphasize stuff.
Yeah.
He puts doubles everywhere. And then triples.
Everything.
And then he puts a triple to emphasize stuff. Which is I don't know if maybe I'm just old, but it's because sometimes get kind of distracting. But I still love it, and I still because I got the nostalgia, and lyrically he's always been crazy, man. But I'm like, man, that's an interesting technique. So no one's ever just hearing just your straight spitting. Although there's other things in instances where I did hear this, but I'm saying on this album, he doubles, he layers his vocals, and it's interesting. Now the next song, White Man's World. Now I'll say
this one I won the playing class, but I knew I was like,
now this is a song that I'll be completely honest. When it came out, it wasn't one that I played a lot. Like when I was younger, the deeper messages songs like this, I listened to when I was in that type of mood. But a lot of times I wanted to just hear the party. I wanted to hear the street. I wanted to hear the other stuff. So I didn't listen to this song as much. So I wasn't as familiar with everything else. After listening to it now, I like it. I appreciate it more.
She's politicking, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the politics part.
Yeah, and back when I was, because this game, 96, I didn't give a shit about politics and stuff back then, right? I was more.
He's like defending women, he like straight to that. It's Pac, man. It's the Pac. That's the Apocalypse Now freaking Pac.
Yeah, that's a
you like this one?
Pure example of old school Pac on that one.
That's that first Pac.
Pre All Eyes on Me Pac.
I want to go to war with everybody mode.
I find in
Me Against the World.
Every Tupac album, there's one or two songs that are a teaching moment.
Yeah.
Right? So and I believe Hail Mary and this one, White Man's World, was his two teaching moments.
Man, he had teaching moments on Blasphemy too.
Yeah, I know Blasphemy.
It was a lot. That was a teaching album.
I remember Blasphemy, but I don't remember the verses that well. So, but like I said, two or three, 4 songs.
Yeah.
You got teaching moments on there, right? That he's bringing out the Black Panther influence that he was surrounded.
Yeah.
With. So, you know, y'all didn't know I knew that. Y'all didn't know that shit.
Now the next song is probably my favorite because I wrote a song kind of similar, except it was towards a microphone, not a gun, back in the day, and I was like, oh, I can't put this out now. Talk about shit. No, I'm just joking. But the metaphors, I like metaphors. I like symbolism, and Me and My Girlfriend is just crazy.
Oh yeah, yes. Absolutely.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Started out my life of crime.
Yeah.
Which you were not. Started out my crime when you were 9.
Yeah.
Some shells when you turned 22. Oh yeah, he's going in on that track.
This is my favorite song on the album, man.
Flex for sure.
Like
you shouldn't even say that. You should have asked him if you knew that he was talking about that.
I didn't pick up on
what?
You know what I was thinking about this whole song when I listened to this song? This whole song, when I think about this, because
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
I was still stuck on the Jay-Z beef. And I was like, man, so you mean Jay-Z brought this song back and made it a freaking girl anthem? That's all I was thinking about when I listened to this song.
Hey, I got an assignment for you that I think will help.
Yeah,
you know, on Spotify, when you listen to songs, you can click down and see the lyrics.
Yes.
If you read the lyrics,
Yeah.
it would definitely made the song more apparent for you. That's what I do when we do deep dives. I sit and I read the lyrics, as I'm going, just because you'll pick up stuff that you might not even hear. And sometimes, okay, the lyrics aren't always like accurate. You can tell they use some kind of AI, because I'm like, he didn't say that. But
So, man, what I want to know.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people didn't know.
What I want to know, that song right there, right? Jay-Z took that a couple years later and made that into a fucking
like he did with everyone else's shit.
A lot of years later.
But like thinking
Writer,
about,
not a writer.
but thinking about Pac dissing him on this exact album, and then Jay-Z taking it and making it into like a Bonnie and Clyde. That's what the song. I think Bonnie and Clyde 03 is the song.
Who's going to respond back to him?
No one, because Pac is dead. But it's crazy. Like that Jay is kind of sick, you know.
Oh yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, man.
People don't realize the sick tactics that this guy is ready to do.
Like I listened to the song, I was like, yo, Jay-Z's diabolical, man. like this man diss you on this track. He's dead now. You take this song, flip it into a song that people like. People put that as their, like, you know. All I need in this life for sin is me and my girlfriend.
There was claims that he brought the unreleased songs. He did buy them.
Yeah.
Jay's diabolical, man.
He could have been using Pac's lyrics for the last few years, and none of us would even really know.
Exactly.
Diabolical, man. That's probably why I was distracted about this song. Because when I heard it, I was like, holy fuck, this Bonnie and Clyde.
Like, look how many verses that he used of Biggie's.
Yeah.
I mean, and shit that's out of Biggie's, that's famous of Biggie's.
Yeah.
He still used those verses of Biggie's and put them in his song.
Yeah.
I mean, and made them in the hits.
Jay diabolical, bro. That's why he's trying to get a Drake.
But yeah, anyways, that's my favorite song on the track. Yeah. The next song is another one that when I was younger I used to skip. Actually, I don't even know if I'd say skip because I pressed rewind and I kept going back to Me and My Girlfriend. But it's Hold Your Head.
You skipped. There's all kinds of knowledge in that one.
Shit time.
Yeah. See, that's I know, but this is why when he said 2 or 3 songs, teachable moments, I was like, I remember this one too.
You kept going back trying to learn about guns, eh?
Yeah. I like more metaphors. You got to realize I was rhyming. So I had respect for metaphors, and I liked how he put the stuff together, so I was studying the scheme and stuff. I can still write, guys.
You know, when he first heard it, he was like, oh, man, he's almost a girl like that. And he gets to the second time, he's like, oh, wait, no, this ain't this girl. This is something else.
No, it didn't take me 2 times.
Third time.
To see it.
That's what he was good.
Oh,
yeah, this was like actually one of the first CDs I actually physically owned.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. Like, do you remember when there used to be like that cash and carry place that was in Bears Road Shopping Center that you buy all electronics and stuff?
Yeah.
I bought a stereo, and that was in it.
Oh, nice. Cuz got it for free.
I got it for free.
Oh, fuck, I was trying to steal that shit.
Nice. Anyways, back to the track. What do you guys? Did you like this one?
This the one. It's just the one he's talking about the prison stuff. Like he starts with the.
I need to see the lyric for this one.
I can't remember how it freaking starts.
I need to hear it.
I believe so.
I don't remember.
He's talking about like
That's it. There was a couple that.
Yes, I believe there's at least a verse or a part of verse where he's talking about because it's hold your head up, like hold your head.
Listen.
Yeah, I thought this was good. I can't remember it fully, but like you said, I think it was
this
like.
This was talking about like it's kind of a cool world. Trying to remember.
I think so.
Thinking one day you might leave me for somebody that's richer. Twist the cap with the bottle. Take a sip and see tomorrow. Gotta make it even if I have to beg or borrow.
Yeah, the whole verse, man.
I'm tapped, man.
Jesus.
So what do you feel while he's looking that up?
I like this song. If this is the same song I'm thinking about, I like this song.
Yeah, going back to it, I like it. I even like the chorus a lot too.
Yeah, it's
the
like,
hook. What about you?
Oh yeah.
I know you like every song.
He say like every song. This my pick, motherfucker.
Yeah. Mother sucker.
My pick, Makaveli.
All right, so while he's still looking up something, we'll go to the last song, Against All Odds.
I can't find the shit.
Biggest underrated diss song of history. If he would have been alive to release this and had a video, there would have been no more talk. Mo hit him up.
Where you go look at the verse?
Like think about
Against
that.
All Odds in the studio.
Spotify.
You have to play the song.
A nigga named Nas think he live like me, talking about it like the hospital took five like me. You live in fantasies, nigga. We reject your deposit. We shook Dre's punk ass, and now he's out of the closet. Mob Deep wonder why nigga blowed him out. Next time grown folks talking, nigga, close your mouth. That's just like the first. That's just the first like 10 bars.
Yeah, that one is.
Well, against Hold Your Head is where that one. But yeah, Against All, yeah, I agree.
It's just the first 10 bars, and then the second verse he's going at Haitian Jack, which is a street cat.
You talking about the last one?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like you talking about. Yes, sir. Against All Odds.
I like it.
I didn't know the history of all this shit.
Oh yeah.
Against All Odds.
Yeah, man. Rap beat was crazy back then.
Yeah.
The thing is like he said, underrated and stuff, because we didn't have social media, so a lot of stuff went under the radar.
Yeah.
Like there's lots of people that probably just today learned that Mobb Deep dissed Tupac on Drop a Jewel on him.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably.
Yeah, they kind of a lot of people at that time, even at that time, and still from it thought it was just random that Pac was just going at all the Biggie's friends. It was like, no, these are people who said something.
I was one though. I like Drop a Jewel on them. I didn't. It's because I didn't really like the song, so I didn't study the lyrics and whatever. So I didn't know when he started talking about Mobb Deep. I was like, why you got beef with him? And then later on, I was like, oh, okay, I see now.
Yeah,
you gotta think about that too. That means that Pac or whoever dissected the lyrics and freaking listened to these tracks, they're like, yo, this way dissing. Like it's like you gotta get somebody like he put it together or whatever. I don't know what the exact lines is in Chop the Jewels or whatever, but it's like someone put it together. Someone freaking made it clear to him, or he made it clear.
Yeah,
by listening to it, like yo, this guy.
Because and a lot of things that it changed and evolved over the years, but a lot of things back then and stuff. When a rapper was dissing another rapper, they didn't really focus on the whole world knowing they're dissing. Yeah. So they'd stay. That's why some stuff that would go over people's head. Like if I'm dissing him, I'm going to say shit that's dissing you, that other people might not even know it's a diss because they don't know the history. Like they don't know. Yeah, they don't know. Like you could be dissing. Like they don't know that you lived down there on there and did this and did this. But so you're dissing that, and they're not putting it together because they don't know the whole history.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Even like with the Haitian Jack lines, and then talking about what was the other guy's name he talked about in there? The record producer.
I can't remember everybody. He fired at everyone.
But those two guys that you only knew if you knew about the Tupac beef and knew that like these are people he suspected of shooting him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Or you knew about the SA case. You know what I mean. Then you knew that this person was the other person involved in it. Right? You had to really know.
Yeah.
Know like what they was talking about, right?
Yeah.
But like that's like the ballsiest thing. That's literally 50 Cent stole from that playbook. I'm gonna talk about the guys who shot me on record, and say you didn't kill me or shut me out.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's wild. That's real ballsy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So did you like the track? It's a track.
Yeah. It's like,
I did.
It's.
I know you
It's
did.
Pac and his, I think Pac should be held up as one of the biggest freaking rappers of all time. Like, and his element really.
And the thing is that it's funny is that, I'm just going to use this as a comparison. Nowadays, you can see the outcome of a beef, like even if it's perceived or if it's real. Like with Kendrick and Drake, everyone thinks that Drake.
I was waiting for Tyrone.
Anyway,
I was waiting for Tyrone's face.
I know.
Where it was going, right?
No,
I
yeah.
saw it.
Here's what I want to say. With them, right? Everyone sees Drake and they think that he's sad because he lost and whatever, blah, blah, all that and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Back then, we didn't get to perceive that until they made a comeback.
Yeah.
Like when Pac said stuff about Biggie, we didn't know how pissed Biggie was because you didn't hear about it.
I mean, they was doing radio interviews and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but and that's the only time you'd hear about it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when Jim Jones and Cam are fighting, you hear it right after it happens.
Yeah.
Because it's right on thing.
Or a day or two
You know what I mean? Even it was even elevated when Ja Rule and 50 were fighting. You'd see results right away. Back in this days, you had to wait for an interview or diss track or a magazine article.
Yeah.
Can you imagine waiting for a fucking magazine article?
XXL.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because
read that.
we did that. There was some things you see Pac in there. Oh, Pac talks about the East Coast. Oh shit, we got to read this. Nowadays, we would have read that like the day after he had a thought about it.
Yeah, it's quick.
And that's why the beefs are so different now.
It is.
It's because like, it's for good and bad, because it's for the good. It's that it puts less pressure on the artist, because nowadays if you get dissed, you are so pressured to say something and to look happy
you
whenever you walk anywhere.
fast.
Yes, you have to look like you're living your best life, or else they're like, "Ah, look at you."
Bro, that's one of the con of multimedia. I think it helped create or elevate. Let's say elevate mental disability more. You know what I mean? Like mental illness.
Mental illness, yeah.
I think it elevated that.
It did.
Way more. Than, I think that's why we all say that this is like a soft generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because they gotta respond fast to anything that's said about them, right?
But like you said, it's because with social, everything's out there.
Yeah.
So when you say something about me, I ain't just worried about what you guys think. I'm like, what is the fucking world saying about me?
Because it's not just me that you got with what I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because next thing you know, he tweeted something or I messaged or whatever the fuck. He did it. She did it over in Spain. He did it over in Africa. He did it down in Haiti. You know what I mean? Now you got everyone coming at you like, oh, what you gonna say back? What you gonna say back? What you gonna say back?
Not harder to escape it.
Yeah, that kind of gives, I guess, validation or maybe credence, or just gives a boost to what we were saying last week off pod, where people ain't just down to scrap and knuckle up no more, because you feel more disrespected now.
Yeah.
Because if you say something about me and we're arguing, right, and I gotta worry about them think, but they know me, so I know they know that ain't like that.
Yeah.
But now it's like all these followers, what are they thinking? And then you read some comments where they're like, oh yeah, he's a bitch. All of a sudden now you want to kill that motherfucker.
Yeah.
When before you just want to knock him out. But then when you see 3K people are calling you a bitch for not doing something, now you want to kill that guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
It's crazy.
That perfectly exemplifies the reason of why Drake wanted to put a legal thing on.
Yes.
He's like, this is not a knuckle up time. I can't just fight with this guy. That's not going to stop it.
I know. Like if it was back in 96 or whatever, right?
Would have had to wait a month for it to hear that shit.
Yeah. And if he called him a pedophile, he'd be like, my crew knows I ain't like that. Whatever. Watch it. I'll write something, whatever. But now when he sees people singing it everywhere and on all these memes and stuff, he's like, that's why Axe said, you got to shoot him.
Hey, minor.
Yeah, I know. They're like, yeah. He's like, he said, academics like, you got to shoot him after this. You just got to shoot. You can't do nothing. You gotta. And then that's what's out there, and it's like shit. That's why even when you see him smile, you're like, he's hiding something.
Yeah.
He's hurts.
He said in the club.
I know. And then he told the club to himself. And you're like, man, look, he's so sad.
Yeah.
But
hey, Drake, we started a podcast.
Hey, Drake.
It's supposed to be about Makaveil.
Because he's the beef of beef. But that's why, and the funny thing is that even in those, as you can see with Pac and Biggie, even though they say it wasn't attributed to the East Coast, West Coast thing, it probably was. People got murdered over that when they had less of that. So now when things are amplified, you can see why shit is fucked up. And why people, like, I think that the only weird place you can diss people is in the battles on stage where you give dap and you hug it out after stage.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, after the performance. Because anywhere else, people will just stew and take it to the next level.
Imagine they had fucking social media when no Vaseline came up.
Yeah.
or fucking ether. Oh, fuck.
It's funny that you brought up no Vaseline because I did see a clip where Ice Cube was talking about that.
Yeah.
He was kind of like not giving credit to Pac for the hit him up record.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I did Vaseline by myself. He had his little homies on.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But it's like,
yeah.
Did you not listen to the song? The whole point is like, y'all ain't even on my level.
Yeah.
I'm going to let my little homies ride on y'all.
Yeah.
The whole point. He's like, you guys ain't got nothing for me.
No.
Yeah. I see both sides
I get
of
both
that.
sides. Yeah, I see both sides, right?
Because he did take down the biggest group in hip hop at the time
but
by
he knew
himself.
every single one of them, but like personally, like was in a group with them more than like he knew Biggie a little bit. Like they hung together, did a little bit of the shows. He tried to mold Biggie up and help him a little bit, but like Ice Cube knew those guys.
Yeah.
Like knew those guys.
Cube wrote for most of them.
Exactly. He knew that they couldn't
Hit him
challenge
up.
him.
Yeah.
I write your lyrics. How you gonna write something back?
True that.
Hit him up is like a Not Like Us, man. Like that's a club. It's a club. Like it's a club play. Freaking
So, the album, classic.
Sure.
Classic. Well, it's new to you.
It's new to me. I like it. I don't know.
I like
Is
it.
it a classic to you though?
Well, you
be a
can't.
classic,
You
yeah.
can't call it.
I can't say it's a classic to me. I
Yeah.
guess
I gotta shoot him some bell. How
Like-
if he heard it 2 times probably in your
Yeah,
life?
listen,
You
it's
can't
like-
call it a classic after
like
that.
you guys have a lot of like background knowledge of why he's doing these stuff, and I'm hearing it. I'm like, dang, dude's like angry as shit.
Oh, this was definitely his angry.
Yeah,
album.
like
Yeah.
it sound
Yeah.
angry
Yeah.
as shit, right? And I like, yo, it's still good, but I mean the songs are good. It's Pac. Like I always say this about Pac. Is like I feel like he don't even need a good beat. His voice carries.
His voice is the instrument,
His
man.
voice carries these songs like easily.
Yeah.
That's what I say about Pac.
That's why when you mix Pac with a dope beat, it's over.
Yeah, yeah. So I like the album. Like it's good. Like I didn't know Makaveli. Like I'd say it's like in the beginning of the book. I know Makaveli was so serious. To him. Like I heard him very Superstar. I heard him say it so much time. I was like, okay, yeah, Makaveli it is, man. Like, okay, it's the whole fucking album. I didn't know. I was like, where is this album at?
I know. It took me a while to
was
find
looking-
it.
I was
I was
like-
looking for it too.
I was like, I went to best in the group until you posted it. And I
Yeah,
was like,
because
okay.
I went on to Tupac and I was like, chronological order. I was like, how are they missing this album? Where is it? So I think I typed in like Hail Mary and then went to there and then went to the album it was on. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Because then I went to Makaveli as an artist and it's the only album there. I was like,
That's surprising that they don't have it on both.
yes,
just on one.
It should
it
be on
is.
both. I think it should
like
be on
most
both.
artists that have like 2 different names, they'll put it under both. But for him, I don't know. It is what it is. In closing, though,
That's the money's going somewhere else.
that could be a thing.
Anyway.
In closing, it's a classic album.
Yeah.
If you ain't heard it, I don't know how you ain't. Go hear it. Go check it out.
Go look
Yeah.
at what the original back cover used to look like. It's some wild stuff.
Now, see, I got the album. Now I got to go try and look at the back cover to see what is on it. Do I have the original or do I have a copy? I don't even know. I'll check it out. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I don't know what's going on with him.
Finger on that, bro. Fuck.
Shit. All right. So that's our deep dive of Makaveli's first and only album. I'm John Kizzy. You know who is he? AKA Philly G. because they know who I be, and I'm here with King Tigger,
Oh shit, the King of Kings.
DJ Laton.
I'm back.
That was the most low energy I'm back ever.
It's late. I barely hit the show.
And Ray Ray,
Take care of yourself, people.
and we out. Peace.
Illuminati.
Illuminati.